And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog net is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 3,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word Highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word Highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way, over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6th position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6th position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I'd appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Roger, Roger. It's Kilo Charlie 3 Oscar Sierra Golf.
Roger, Roger. Oscar Sierra Golf. What's the name there?
Roger, Roger. Oscar Sierra Golf. What's the name there?
And then here is Dave. And what's your call again?
Call here is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And we usually help folks get their transmitters set up. Roger.
Get their transmitters set up. Roger.
Roger, did you say KVK over?
The call is KC9VKV Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
Roger, Roger. Just shows what happens when you just pushing about 600 watts for an American
Roger, Roger. I copy as David, and David, you're, well, gosh, I've got a somewhat copy on my local antenna, and it kind of comes and goes on my PA SDR. What is your location, David?
Location, David.
State Forest.
Roger, I caught something about a state park. I do not have a real good copy on you. If you could try one more time with your location, Roger.
Try one more time with your location, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Halfway between Gettysburg and Carlisle, along the mountain range of the Appalachian Mountains.
Give me state. Give me your state.
Give me state. Give me your state.
Pennsylvania. Halfway between Gettysburg, and Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Roger, and I'm on my, let's see, my Georgia SDR right now. I should be able to get a pretty good copy on my Pennsylvania SDR, but not right at the moment. So, the beginning of our setup procedure is to verify that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It's called wide TBW, transmit bandwidth, and we want it on. It's got your radio has 3 selections, and one of those I think is called wide, which is 100 to 2900, and that's the best one to be in there as far as the transmit bandwidth, because it gives you just a slice of daylight right at the end before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger.
Before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Roger, 1 moment. Yes, okay, I'm at 2900 right now, over.
Excellent. Then we move to the compressor processor, and we want that on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. We're just looking for a third of your compressor processor possibilities. So compressor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
At a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger.
1 moment. Yeah, I'm trying to find my compressor level.
So what it is, if your compressor processor has the input level of 0 to 100, you would put it on 30. If it had a 0 to 10, you would put it on 3. Roger.
0 to 10, you would put it on 3, Roger.
Yeah, no problem with that. I'm just trying to find it on my settings.
There you go. Menu search. They should make a special option. It's just a search for menu, and you crank in something like what you're thinking about, and it gives you options.
Something like what you're thinking about is just
Yeah, because I usually don't mess with it. Boy. I'm going to have to look it up on the web, I think. Hang on.
Okay, tell you what, why don't you just take notes for now, take some notes and crank it in at your leisure. That's the best way to do it. So we're talking about your compressor processor. We're looking for it to be on at a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100 level. Just a third of that compressor processor. Roger?
level. Just a third of that compressor processor, Roger.
Roger, go on.
All right, now we'd move to your ALC meter, and with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, don't worry about the last part of that word. We're just looking for the part. You become a human test tone generator, and with mic gain, you bring it up to where your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. So that's 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio and adjust your mic level for that level on your ALC meter. Roger?
Level on your ALC meter, Roger.
Roger, running my number between the low end and the new line.
Roger, Roger. Now, I do suggest, if you do work if that's a desk mic, what kind of mic are you running right now?
If that's a desk mic, what kind of mic are you running right now?
I'm running the standard stock hand mic that comes with a FTD X10 over.
Yes, sir. Okay, the best way to work that hand mic is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk directly into it. Just actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
To touch the corner of your lips and talk across it, Roger?
Roger, and normally that's what I do.
Yes, sir. So now working it that way, go ahead and double-check your ALC setting, since you might be working the mic a little bit different than what you did before. And so again, adjust mic level until your ALC is 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Level until your ALC is 7 or 2/3, Roger?
All right. Did you get that?
All right, did you get that?
Shut it down. My LC hangs in between 7 and 9 on, well, I want to say between 40 to 50%, and then it drops quickly if I drop the LC at my mic level down.
Roger, Roger. Well, it doesn't make difference what the actual mic level says it is. What we're looking for is that reading on your LC meter. That's the one, 7 or 2/3. That's the one we want, because that sets your modulation level perfectly. Roger, Roger.
Your modulation level perfectly, Roger, Roger.
Modulation and the bandwidth. Also, I monitor myself with the AirSpy HF Discovery Plus, and according to what I'm seeing now, and I'd really rather not mess with my levels, because I think they've been optimized already. About 2 to 3 years ago. Over.
Roger, it looks pretty good. I'm looking at your audio on a view meter tied to my 7300 output, and it does look like you're running about a 3 dB dynamic range on your transmitter, Roger.
Looks like you're running about a 3 dB dynamic range on your transmitter, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I would agree with that.
Alrighty, but what I would do, I have a pretty good copy on you, not the greatest in the world, but pretty good, and I would suggest maybe a little bit more top-end EQ, maybe a couple of clicks of treble boost, and if you have a frequency capability, we would want that at 2.7 kilohertz. Plus 3, 2.7 kilohertz plus 3, width of 4 if you have all that. If not, just treble boost a couple of clicks, Roger.
All that. If not, just treble boost a couple of clicks, Roger.
Yeah, I tried this. How is this now? Over. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, over.
Okay, I think you can work that mic a little bit further back. I think you might be too forward on that mic. Move it back just a little bit, because I'm still catching some stuff that usually, if you work it, across the side as opposed to directly ended, it alleviates that problem.
Across the side as opposed to directly ended, it alleviates that problem.
Roger, Roger. How about this? Testing 1, 2, 3, over.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. You were just too far forward. So just remember where that position is on your lips, and just come back to that each time, and your level will be perfect. Well, but, I would suggest leaving that ALC meter out all the time. And, you got to have something to do when you're talking to your friends and neighbors around the world. And if you have your ALC meter sitting there looking at you, you can play games with it as far as trying to keep that meter in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 position as best you can. And you might have to tweak your mic level just a little bit one way or the other to really be able to just keep that right in that sweet spot. Roger, that's the game of it anyway, Roger.
Sweet spot, Roger. That's the game of it anyway, Roger.
All right, hang on a second there. Yeah, my treble is already set up for being plus 5. I can go all the way to plus 10 on its setting. And I don't know if, and I have the bass turned to minus 6 out of 10. So I tend to who are wasting a lot of their power in the bass. Guessing that they think they're going to be more intelligible. I used to work the telco, and I'm fully aware of the optimum frequency range. 3 to 3.3 in theory is what we used to use at Bell. But, all right, how's this sound? Over?
Yeah, Roger, sounds good. Now, keep in mind that, if everybody, say there was a big pileup, and there's 100 carriers in there, there's 100 people in there, and they all have their bottom ends rolled off. Okay, now we're just talking a hypothetical here, but all those stations, trying to get in, have their audio rolled off, and somebody comes in with a balanced audio signal that is they're down in there, but flat. But who do you think they're going to hear? Because there's no competition in the bottom range from, say, 500 cycles down. So that's why I think it's important to stay balanced in your signal. Not necessarily, super at the top end, not necessarily super at the bottom end, but balanced through the audio fidelity. Roger?
Balanced through the audio fidelity, Roger.
That's just my idea, and I think, you can position yourself equalization-wise and audio-wise to be comfortable with a signal that is doing both QSO and, a contest or whatever. I really think that to be true.
Or whatever. I really think that to be true.
Yeah, Roger, I'm looking at your distribution here, and you definitely have a peak that's running at the low end. That's all dropped a little bit. Flat on up towards probably about 1.5 to 2 kilohertz over.
Roger. Now, you just came up on my local 7300, so why don't you tell me what the best thing is you like about your radio, Roger?
What's the best thing about it is, I have 8 or 9 radios, everything from a Collins 75S3, and an older Kenwood, and I have the Yaesu, and I got another ICOM, and I got an ICOM 7300. And I like them all. I'm using the X10 has a great combination of tools, including really nice attenuator, especially in this noisy environment we have now. And putting that together, I love the 7300 for what it is. Its technology was so advanced when it was first out, and it's still a heavy hitter, and no doubt about it. but the front end gets a little overloaded sometimes, so it really needs a little better pre-filtering, I believe. That's my personal feelings about it. But with the combination of stuff I'm making, basically be able to pull out. It's newer technology and a different, completely different approach to noise filtering, things like that. And it's a good workhorse, and it's clean, everything about it. And but I love them both. The one thing I really dislike about the 7300 is the simple fact that they're too stingy with their vertical scale on the SDR envelope. Now I'm talking about on the display, on the spectrum display. It's too low, and so all you can see is these little teeny ripples down in the bottom. And I have not found. I don't have it radio with me at the moment. It's down in Maryland. But that would be my biggest failure. So I like the fact that that's one thing I like about using my SDR alongside. I can adjust manually both the DC offset and the display, but you don't get any of those controls at all on the 7300 as far as being able to adjust the video gain for the display, for the spectral display.
Roger. 7300 hit a lot of good places and didn't hit some places that they should have. My main concern and problem with the 7300, although I'm running one right now, the main thing is though that the video out for the big screen monitor, it would have been so much better if the 7300 had just used HDMI output. I can't for the life of me figure why they wouldn't have used a HDMI output for their big screen video. Roger?
On the 7300?
Right. Roger, it has an output, but it's not HDMI output. It has to be converted and all that stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they had a separate video output. I would be ashamed to find that out now. I mean, the only thing I use with it, of course, is the interface software, BA1-1, whatever it is, version 2, I don't know.
Roger. Well, like the 7610. The 7610 is just a beautiful radio, and they do have their stuff together as far as that HDMI output. Everything that's on that screen is outputted through the HDMI to your big screen. Roger?
Without a doubt. I suffer from not having that going on, and like right now, like I say, my 7300 is down in Maryland, so I would I'll run the remote on it, but not from here, at least not yet. I don't have that all set up yet because we're in the process of moving from Pennsylvania down to Maryland over.
Roger. Well, I hope that you have better conditions always where you're moving to than where you're coming from. Roger?
Better conditions always where you're moving to than where you're coming from. Roger?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be true. I was really disappointed, but then I found out that there was so much else going on with etc. With the stuff that was coming from one day it's pretty usable, the next day it's almost unusable. And I thought it was my environment there, and some of it probably is because I'm in a city there and I'm in the country here. I'm literally at the Baltimore County line, right off the Baltimore Beltway, and man, is there a lot of noise there. But that's where the DX10 has been pretty good to me because I was able to finally get it by turning the attenuator on, and I turn it on hard if I have to, up to 18 dB. And I was able to all of a sudden, start getting the signal. Now I'm talking
Roger that, roger that. Well, you know, 40 has not been a good band, the past few months. It's just kind of there, but it's not really. Mother Nature has given us a hard time on 40, I think, and I'm not sure why, but she is cantankerous old lady, and you have to be nice to her, or she will make your life a living hell, so to speak. And radio is just amazing to me. Like, I'm sitting here with 5 SDRs plus my local receiver, and so I can go through. I'm doing Kentucky, New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, and then I've got one called Hocus Pocus, which is a whole other thing. It's another SDR receiver that's got 50 pre-programmed stations in it for over 20 states, and most of them have like 3 different choices that I can get into, and all to make the 100-watt carrier a little bit better, so I can hear more succinctly what that signal's sounding like. 100 watts, sometimes it's just hard to get to from here to there, Roger.
Sometimes it's just hard to get to from here to there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, and that's sort of the problem when I'm down in Maryland. There's an HOA, and they don't let you put anything up. The only thing I've been able to do, strung about a 28-foot long center flared dipole, and I tried a 71-foot non-resonant head running that horizontally, and I could do that, but I have to take it down when I go to bed at night, so it doesn't bother anybody or anything. And then the other thing is I tried a 17.
Roger, David. Well, the conditions have kind of reversed now. I've not been able to copy you on any of my SDRs. Even my local antenna is failing. But I have a chevron on the right side of the screen, which tells anybody that's looking at the video where the audio is coming from. So I have my 5 SDRs there, plus my local receiver, and so this light just runs up and down as I'm moving around, selecting different inputs. And so you might find that interesting if you would like to hear your audio. We are recording, so if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Interesting combination.
Roger, David, when I came off my part, we were doubling some, so I just want you to know that we are recording, and if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search, it'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger on that?
I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger on that?
Alrighty, David, I think we've run out of string for this communique, so let me say 73 to you, and you have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Okay, I'm on my Pennsylvania SDR. If you happen to live around that area or up north, even on the other side of PA, up around the Canadian border or whatever, that's a good jump place from the border up to PA SDR. Just, it's an ideal distance for a hop, a nice, plus 20 hop or so. Anyway, we're right there on the PASDR at the moment.
I use also the RTL V4, I apologize, which I found to be good for the price. And I changed them with others. I set them up with an input pressure on it, show the person, maybe we'll set up a loop on ground or something like that for their receive side, and pretty well with, again, it's a spotting rig. It does real well, but then I also have that HF Discovery Plus from AirSpy, and that is a kicker. That's an amazing radio. So, and that's why I was querying. I was wondering what you were using for SDRs over.
I'm using tablets, Fire Stick tablets. I have 6 of those, Roger.
Fire Stick tablets. I have 6 of those, Roger.
Fire Stick tablets?
Amazon Fire Stick tablets, Roger.
Amazon Fire Stick tablets, Roger.
All right. Okay, I'm looking that up now.
Roger. They are Wi-Fi connected. I'm running 2 routers. I don't need to, but I am running 2 routers because I have other stuff that's running off the line too. But it's a good situation. It is AT&T fiber optic, so we're in pretty good shape, Roger.
AT&T fiber optic, so we're in pretty good shape, Roger.
Oh, right. No, I was wondering what you're using with SDR radios. You said you had about 5 SDR radios running. Over?
Yes, sir. I'm using the Amazon Fire tablets as internet connections. Each one is capable of browsing a SDR. So I have Georgia, Virginia, New York, and Pennsylvania out, and I also have my Hocus Pocus unit, which has got about 50 pre-programmed internet SDR locations on it, Roger.
Pre-programmed internet SDR locations on it, Roger.
I get it now. Okay, yeah, I use the web SDR sites and a couple others around the world for reception sometimes. It's also a good way to see how you're doing blowing that up.
Roger, David. Well, again, I think we've about run out of string, buddy. I am coming out of these tablets on the audio connection, and into a 6-position rotary switch, so I have all of my SDR receivers in their audio, and I just select through like that, and I have my my local 7300 audio on that same rotary switch, so I can go through everything in about a second and a half, and you can really tell the what's going on there as you go through that fast and come back and forth, and you can hear the noise level versus the voice level. That's the thing. You're not looking at meters, you're just listening by ear. Roger, Roger.
Looking at meters, you're just listening by ear. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. That sounds good. Okay, look, I will take your advice, and I will see if I can check in as the weeks go by here. I'm tearing down my equipment here and setting it up down in Maryland. I appreciate it very much. And with that, I'm 373.
Roger, Roger, David, and I would suggest that you check your ALC level one more time, because maybe you didn't reset your level after you started working that mic the way we had talked about working it. It seems to be a little hot now, so you might check that. ALC meter, microphone level adjustment until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. So let me say 73 to you, David. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Roger, Roger.
David, you have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Thank you much, Scott.
Roger. This is the Friday Afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday Afternoon KC9VKV Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
All right, it's station calling. Slowly, phonetically repeat the call sign.
All right, it's station calling. Slowly, phonetically repeat the call sign.
Station calling. This is KC9VKV. Could you repeat your call sign slowly, phonetically, please?
Could you repeat your call sign slowly, phonetically, please? Whiskey, Bravo, 4, Zulu, Alpha, Romeo, over.
All right, I got everything except that word right before Romeo. What is the word before Romeo?
Everything except that word right before Romeo. What is the word before Romeo? Alpha. Over.
So it's Zebra Alpha Romeo. Is that a Roger?
So it's Zebra Alpha Romeo. Is that a Roger? Zebra Alpha Romeo.
Yes, sir. That's what I said. Zebra Alpha Romeo. What's the name there?
Alpha Romeo. What's the name there? John, Juliet, Oscar, Hotel, Nancy.
Roger, John, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, John, and whereabouts are you located, sir? Franklin, North Carolina, over.
Roger, Roger, John, North Carolina, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Roger, John, North Carolina, and what radio are you running today, sir? I am running the ICOM 7300, over.
7300, John. Excellent radio. Excellent choice. And if you'd be interested in our setup, first thing to do is be sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It's called wide TBW on the 7300. And you do have 3 selections, but you want it in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger? Okay, is that where I am now?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. It's in, well, gosh, it's in, hang on just a minute. I have a mental problem today, frankly, but it's in the menu there with the wrench and the hammer, you know, the X there, that's settings. Go to settings and you'll find it there.
The X there, that's settings. Go to settings and you'll find it there.
I think it's settings, transmit sideband. I believe that should take you there.
Transmit sideband. I believe that should take you there.
And if you'd like, you know, you could take notes and then do this at your leisure, Roger, if you wanted to do that.
Then do this at your leisure, Roger, if you wanted to do that.
So John is finding his transmit bandwidth. Like I say, it's in settings, transmit, sideband, and that should get you into your TBW, transmit bandwidth. And we want the wide one. It's labeled wide to 100 to 2900.
We want the wide one. It's labeled wide to 100 to 2900. Okay, I got you.
Alrighty, so then move to your compressor processor, and on that 7300 we want it on a 3, just a third of the possibilities of your compressor processor on the 7300, so it's on and at a 3, roger, roger.
300, so it's on and at a 3, roger, roger. Roger, roger.
Alrighty, then move to your ALC meter, which you probably have been looking at, but with mic gain in hand, and as you look at your ALC meter, if you say the word audio, you become a human test tone generator, and adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first, Roger?
Running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first, Roger. Roger, roger.
Alrighty, and I think, if you would, why don't you tell me about your radio and what you like best about it, and I've got a pretty good copy on you. I'll be able to tell you what you need to do on EQ. So tell me about your radio there.
What you need to do on EQ. So tell me about your radio there. Oh, I like this radio. It's pretty good. I got good selectivity, and it seems to transfer. Watching everything right now, and ALC and everything, and audio, and it seems to be doing its job. Over.
Yes, sir. I'm looking at your audio on a VU meter tied to my 7300 audio out, and you are looking really good there. It looks like you are running a 3 dB dynamic range, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%. So you're set up really good there, and you know, fidelity-wise, EQ-wise, and your like I say, your 3 dB dynamic range is just perfect, Roger.
I'd like to say your 3 dB dynamic range is just perfect, Roger. Roger, Roger. Where are you located, over?
We're down around Louisville. Actually, we're on the other side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. We're in New Albany, Indiana. You probably don't know where that is, but it is just across the river from downtown Louisville, Roger.
But it is just across the river from downtown Louisville, Roger. Okay, how about that? Something else. I have a daughter that lives in Marshall, Indiana.
In whereabouts, Indiana?
Whereabouts, Indiana? M-A-R-K-E-L, Marshall, Indiana.
Roger, Roger, Martin, Indiana. I'm not really sure where that is. I'm not a historian of locations in Indiana, but you know, it's. I think Indiana is great to be in, as opposed to being in. Well, I won't say that. I like where I am. That's the thing. If you like where you are, you're in good shape, Roger.
That's the thing. If you like where you are, you're in good shape, Roger. Affirmative, I agree with you 100%. Like it here in Carolina, it gets cold in the winter, but you know, hot in the summer. I prefer the warm weather, but life doesn't.
Well, I'll tell you, John, the thing is, just where I am, as soon as I get tired of winter, summer comes along. And as soon as I get tired of summer, winter comes along. It's just amazing. I'm in the right place.
Summer, winter comes along. It's just amazing. I'm in the right place. Sounds good to me. Sounds pretty good to me. And my daughter lives in Indiana. She likes it there. She said it's been hotter than normal here lately now.
Roger, Roger. Well, I like where we are just across from Louisville, Kentucky, because of the geographic area and how 40 meters works as far as, you know, like it's 500-mile jumps or whatever, but I usually do pretty well up and down the East Coast there, you know, not like other folks that might be on the East Coast, and unless they enjoy working DX, they only have really half an antenna to work the U.S. With, Roger, as opposed to you know, they have a lot of EMF power going out over the ocean that may go over to Europe and DX, but if they're not looking for DX, they're pretty much wasting about half their power, as I see it, Roger.
It's wasting about half their power, as I see it, Roger. Okay. Well, I don't work DX, so I could care less about it over.
Yes, sir. And let's see, I'm copying you on my PASDR, so, gosh, I would think I would have been hotter in North Carolina. Come back and tell me about your antenna system just for a minute there, John, and let me check something.
The system just for a minute there, John, and let me check something. Okay. And it's only about 30.
Roger. Yeah, mostly on my PASDRs. I'm copying you, and I was copying you at about 4 to 5 dB above my noise level. I can't give you a really S-meter reading because I'm really running a light front end on my receiver. Just to keep from sucking up, so I'm running out of compression, and you need a little bit of compression to be able to see your S meter. So there you go. But I can give you a reading of your signal peak above my noise, and that was about 4 decibels as far as the PA-SDR receiver is concerned. Roger.
As far as the PA-SDR receiver is concerned, Roger. Roger, Roger. I guess that's about as well as can be expected, over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, I guess you have the option of running north or south, and it seems like you might be just a little bit hotter running north than what I've got on the south leg. Roger.
Than what I've got on the south leg. Roger. Roger, Roger. Well, that's the way it goes. You know, I did the best I could, you know, putting it up. You know, I'm 74 years old, so I had a hard time.
Oh, gosh, John, you're a child. You are a child. I won't tell you what it is here, but, you know, I'm a little ahead of you, Roger.
It's here, but, you know, I'm a little ahead of you, Roger. Roger, Roger. I know what that's like. Seems like that's all that's left, us old-timers, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Well, it's like having all this information and nowhere to put it. You know, and I think the thing is that we need to try to get rid of the information we have to folks, newbies, and, you know, folks just coming along that can use all of the help about the hobby that they can get. You know, the more information they have about the hobby, the better decisions they make, you know. And so we're looking for that next generation of, you know, amateur radio operator to be standing 20 feet tall, 20 feet taller than where we are, because radio is a kind of a thing where people, particularly like experimenters or whatever, you know, they used to say that they stand on the shoulders of the engineers and the folks that came before them, taking all of the information that those folks gathered and concisely putting it together to maybe do something totally different, you know, with that information that they gleaned as newbies coming into ham radio, Roger.
That they gleaned as newbies coming into ham radio, Roger. Roger, Roger. I agree with you 100% on that one. And there are many different modes you can run on nowadays, and that would be, you know, whatever they like, you know.
Oh, Roger, Roger, the frequency is the name of the game, I found, you know. I spent the first 3 years as an operator doing UHF, VHF, building directional antennas, and little ones and big ones, and then super big ones. And I always had a chart direction. I like to work northeast. Northeast is my favorite location to shoot for, and I would at one time I had 19 antennas around the shack, and most of those were UHF, VHF on 20-foot poles, and so I could bring maybe 5 different antennas to shoot the same location. And then again, I've got my rotary selector. I would just roll through and find out the hottest one and use that. It's nice. The thing is, amateur radio is opportunity, and the more opportunities you have, the better the signal that you're going to eventually choose, Roger.
Better the signal that you're going to eventually choose, Roger. Roger, Roger. I know what you mean there. And I did a lot of shipboard electronics, aviation electronics, and a little bit of everything, and retired from civil service, and yeah, the whole bit. So I know what it's all about.
Roger, Roger, John. Well, you're sounding really good, sir. I would suggest maybe consider some of those options that we talked about earlier, that I hope that you managed to make notes about, and then pursue them with your book. You know, each little thing really makes a difference. Just like that, I think you were already in that 100 to 2900 transmit band width. Most people are, but there are some, and I've seen it myself, that the radio comes back from the repair shop or something like that, and and it's in some mode that's less than 100 to 2900. It's like 200 to 2500 or 300 to 2500. And unless somebody knows how to check that, they will be restrictive on their transmitter for the rest of the time, because that transmit bandwidth determines the capability of your transmitter, and if you have that closed down, the transmitter can't produce those higher frequencies. So that's why we suggest that 100 to 2900, and that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I know what you mean there.
Well, all right, John, let me say 73 to you, sir. It's been a pleasure. I hope you can join us maybe next Friday. We are recording also, so if you want to hear your recording, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Logbook, KC9VKV logbook on a YouTube search will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I'll do that, and I'll pass along my 73 WB4ZAR 73s, and you have a nice day. Over.
Roger, Roger, John, 73, sir. And you have a good day yourself, and hopefully a great weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 4 Victor Romeo Mike.
I got Romeo Mike. What was before the R? What's before Romeo?
I got Romeo Mike. What was before the R? What's before Romeo?
Is that Victor, Roger?
Is that Victor, Roger?
Okay, Victor Romeo, Maryland. What's the name there?
Victor Romeo, Maryland. What's the name there?
Roger J, and where are you located, sir?
Roger J, and where are you located, sir?
I am near Chattanooga, Tennessee, southeast Tennessee.
Roger J in Tennessee, and what radio are you running today, Jay?
Roger J in Tennessee, and what radio are you running today, Jay?
We're running a brand new Yaesu 891. 100 watts into a ground-mounted portable vertical.
Roger, Roger J. Well, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you double-checking to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That being a new radio, you probably have an option of 3 different settings for your transmit bandwidth. We suggest 100 to 2900. That lets your transmitter be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Roger, Roger.
Okay, and you'll probably find that in settings, transmit sideband. So settings, transmit sideband, somewhere at the end of that, Roger.
Transmit sideband, somewhere at the end of that, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm just starting to delve into the menu setting on this radio. You're one of the first contacts we made on it, so I was just checking to make sure it was working.
Yes, sir. Now, I can give you a bunch of stuff, and I will, but right at the moment, do you know where your mic level control is? Can you find that without having to go through the menu?
Level control is, can you find that without having to go through the menu?
No, I think I'd have to get into the menu functions and go through the menus, the different variables there.
Roger, Jay. Okay, well, let's just proceed on where we were. So you want that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth TBW, and then when you're finished with getting it on that, move to your compressor processor, and we're looking for just a third of the compressor processor. So compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled. We just want a third of it. 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Roger?
We just want a third of it. 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Roger?
Yeah, just on that, I'll just have to get in here and explain to this guy a little bit later on. We're set up portable out here in a building that is pretty hot, so I'm going to probably clear with you, and I appreciate it. And I just got to have to get a signal before and make sure the radio works for it.
Roger, Roger. Okay, well, not knowing where the mic volume level is, I would pull off mic about 2 inches. I would pull off that mic about 2 inches because you're just a little hot going into your ALCs. So I would pull off distance to that mic just a little bit more, so you're not quite as hot. Roger?
A little bit more, so you're not quite as hot. Roger?
Roger. Is that any better there?
What you also want to make sure is that your monitor is off. You do not want your monitor on. Even I don't like earphones on, even because they do. A lot of earphones do bleed pretty bad. The bottom line is that you could be introducing garbage into your transmit signal that you really don't want to do. So, if all possible, I would take all of the monitor system in the transmit mode off, so you don't hear anything. Roger?
Transmit mode off, so you don't hear anything. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Okay. Well, I'm actually going through the menu now to find the mic gain, so we're going to play around with it. I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and clear with you, and we'll take down some antennas here in a minute. I appreciate you coming back.
Roger, Jay. I would give you one other piece of information there. When it comes to setting that level, if you want to set it right, if you use the word audio, just the first part of that word. We don't care about the second part, the OD. We want the AUDI. We want just the You become a human test tone generator. And with your mic level, set your ALC meter to 7 or 2/3 as you say the word. Now, don't stress the word. Just say the word as you would say any other word in a QSO, and just that mic level until you're reading 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. And that will get your audio at the right level. Roger?
On your ALC meter. That will get your audio at the right level. Roger?
QSL, yeah, I'm going. A lot of menu settings on it, so I haven't found the microphone yet. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here, and I appreciate your help, and hope to catch you again sometime. 7-3.
Roger J. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do the call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. And that's, again, is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search, and that will bring you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So 73, Jay, catch you later.
By noon tomorrow. So 73, Jay, catch you later.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
There's Kilo Alpha 8 Whiskey Quebec Lima.
Whiskey Quebec Lima. Come back one more time with that call sign slowly phonetically.
Lima, come back one more time with that call sign slowly phonetically.
Sure, it's Kilo Alpha 8 Whiskey Quebec Lima. KA8WQL. How copy, over?
Yes, sir, fine. And what's the name there?
Yes, sir, fine. And what's the name there?
Name here is Bob, and I'm located just a bit outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Roger, Bob. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Bob. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running a Kenwood TS830S. I just got it off the bench. I had a little work to do on it, and got it back here on the desk, and hoping it's still working okay, over.
I got you, sir. All right. And, gosh, what we do here is primarily help folks get their transmitters set up. If you would be interested, the first thing to check is to be sure that that radio is in the wide transmit bandwidth. Wide TBW, it's 100 to 2900. You probably have some options. How old is that radio there?
Probably have some options. How old is that radio there?
Like I said, this radio is 40 years old, top of the line in 1985. It has no microprocessor and no menus, so I've got nothing to adjust. I guess I just wanted a signal report, over.
Listen, your signal is just beautiful. It looks like, I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer, one thing, and then I'm also looking at your audio on a VU meter, both tied to the output of the 7300. I'm running the 7300 as linear as possible, very low RF front end. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a little secret of what I do. I take my RF gain and my AF gain, turn them all the way both to 0, and then I tape them together. And then as I turn up one, I'm turning up the other. And so I reach a combination of RF gain and AF gain to be exactly where I want to be, which is under compression. So I don't have any kind of suck-up between words from my tuning, introducing that to your audio. Roger, it's just when you stop transmitting, the background level just stays the same. It doesn't come up or go down because it's set linear. Roger.
Up or go down because it's set linear. Roger.
Roger. Yeah, that's the method that I use with a lot of the older equipment, the older boat anchor rigs and so forth. Was you turn up the AF gain and ride the RF gain, and that way you keep the best quality in the receiver. So, okay, very good. Well, I won't hold you up. I wasn't, like I said, I just got the thing off the bench. I heard you looking for testing, and I figured it would be a good opportunity to test this thing and make sure that it's working okay. I had some problems. One of the sideband oscillators had slipped off a frequency, and it was way out, so I had to bring everything back into alignment and get it all set up back in the passband. But like I said, no menus or anything here, over. And I didn't get your name. I got your call, KC9VKV, but I didn't get your name, over.
Roger. Name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, KC9VKV. We're located down around Louisville. We're just on the on the Indiana side of the Ohio, right at Louisville. And we are recording, so if you, and your audio is just beautiful. It looks to be about 3 dB dynamic range, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%. Your audio curve is just beautiful. It's not a bunch on the bottom end, but there is some there. It's, in my estimation, well balanced to go forth in the world and be heard, Roger.
Well balanced to go forth in the world and be heard, Roger.
Well, I appreciate that. That definitely helps in file-ups and so forth. I like hi-fi audio, but I like it on AM. For single sideband, I like to be highly readable, and it seems like a little bit more on the higher end, a little less on the low end. it does very well. So I appreciate you taking the time and helping everybody out. Like I said, it's nice to have a good ear out there when you've done some work on the rig. So, Jim, thanks again, and I'll let you help someone else here. KC9VKV 73 from KA8WQL, over.
Roger, Bob. And it sounds like you did an excellent job on that repair of that radio. It just sounds just perfect. Well done. Catch you later, Bob. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 2 Tango Oscar. November 2 Tango Oscar. November 2 Tango Oscar.
November 2 Tango Oscar. Roger. What's the name there?
November 2 Tango Oscar. Roger. What's the name there?
Oh, Roger, Jim. Name is Kevin. Kilo Echo Victor Indy November. Over.
Roger, Kevin. And what's your location, sir?
Roger, Kevin. And what's your location, sir?
Oh, Roger. I'm working portable. I'm in Morris County, New Jersey, which is north central part of New Jersey, Morris County, and I'm working portable in a park. And I heard you earlier asking about antenna systems, and I'd like to tell you about mine if that's okay. Over.
Oh, yes, sir. Gosh, I've got a beautiful signal on you. I'm using my PASDR to copy the mail, but if you tell me some stuff, I'll look around and see if I can find even a better copy. Roger?
Some stuff, I'll look around and see if I can find even a better copy. Roger?
Roger. Thanks so much, Jim. 20 watts with an old Yaesu FT857D, and my antenna is a 44-foot center-fed inverted V doublet. Probably just under 19 feet, just shy of 19 feet. Like I said, set up as an inverted V, and I feed it with 450 ohm window line from Davis RF, and I have it brought to my MFJ 929 auto tuner, and then I made a one-to-one combat mode choke, and I have that between the rig and the tuner. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, just out of curiosity, Kevin, how much power are you running right now?
Kevin, how much power are you running right now?
Oh, Roger. 20 watts, 20 watts BEP. Over.
Are you kidding me? Gosh, your signal to that PASDR is, like 20 over. Roger.
That PASDR is, like 20 over. Roger.
Oh, Roger. Well, I got to say one thing, Jim. I'm right next door. I'm just east of that SDR. I'm not sure what part of Pennsylvania it's located in, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty local because I'm pretty much due east of the SDR. Over.
Roger. Just beautiful, and your audio curve is very nice, very intelligible. Are you in a park working a plan, or just in a car?
Are you in a park working a plan, or just in a car?
Well, I'm actually sitting in my car in a park, and it's called the Great Swamp. It's a National Wildlife Reserve, and it's a beautiful spot here in northern New Jersey in Morris County. It's absolutely gorgeous. A little warm, but as far as that, it's a beautiful afternoon. And I'm working a POTA activation, and I was actually working a special event station to commemorate Nikola Tesla's birthday. And I was running N2T a little bit earlier down the band, and also working on CW as well. But I was running QRP earlier with that special event call sign, 5 watt CW and 10 watts PEP. But I heard you working the net, and decided to come up here and see if I could reach out to you. But right now I'm using my home call of November 2 Tango Oscar, and bumped up to 20 watts. Over.
Roger. Well, that's the best 20 watts I've ever heard. Just beautiful. If you want to hear your audio, we are recording, so if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Well, thanks so much, Jim. That's a lot of... I appreciate the work you do. That's terrific stuff. And I like the fact that you're helping out guys with the rodeo and their configurations. And I think that's pretty important because a lot of folks may or may not know how to set up the optimal tuning. And I heard the gentleman running the Kenwood 830S. I got to say, that's one of the best radios ever made, in my estimation. Years ago, I had a 520 SE Sierra Echo, which is like the baby brother to that rig. And you know what? I wish I had the thing, man. I got rid of it, and that was a bad move on my part. That was a great rig.
Oh, Roger, Roger. You know, I think, as far as a radio operator, you probably only have the opportunity to experience the perfect radio, whatever it might be in your career, maybe once, maybe twice, and maybe 20 years later, find that same radio used and start running it again, Roger.
Find that same radio used and start running it again, Roger.
Roger, well, you know what? I had to stop that because I was trying to look for old Heath kits from the 70s. I always wanted an HW8. It's a QRP rig, and it was a terrific radio, and it was very moddable. And we used to call them the hot water 8s, HW8. And I had to like hold up and not buy a couple that went on sale in recent years because I'm thinking to myself, that might have sat in someone's basement or someone's attic or someone's wherever, and who knows what kind of condition it's in. But I'm still looking, but I'm just not looking as feverishly as I did a couple of years ago. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you can almost be assured that you're going to have to recap, a 30-year-old radio probably. But speaking of Heathkit, you're listening to SB220 running a KW, Roger.
To SB220 running a KW, Roger.
Roger. I thought I heard the relay kicking in. That is a great tuner. That's a classic. I have friends of mine who have the SB200s, and I have a few guys who have the SB220s. And I tell you what, those things were dynamite, and they're still working great. Do you have the original tubes, Jim, or did you have to replace them? Over.
I think they were replaced once, like 10, 12 years ago, Roger.
Like 10, 12 years ago, Roger.
Roger. There used to be a guy, I forgot his call sign. It's been a while. But he used to go to Timonium Hamfest over in Maryland, and I'm sure he went to Dayton, and he hit all the major Hamfests in the summer. And he was called the Tube Guy. And this guy had every tube known to mankind, and he was reasonably priced. I have no idea what they would get for those particular tubes now, but I remember my old Kenwood had 6146s, and the gentleman was kind enough to give me a couple of tubes as a just in case. And I ran that rig for years, not needing to replace the tubes at all. I mean, that was just a terrific radio. Over.
Roger. Well, I think I found the secret on the 220, and that is to load it all out. Don't restrict yourself. Just max out your load, and that takes a lot of the energy that could back up on the plates on down to the antenna. So I just 100-watt drive and max out. It works beautifully for the last 12 years.
I've been max out. It works beautifully for the last 12 years.
Oh, Roger. So you run at a kilowatt every time you're on the air, or just certain times? Over.
Oh, all the times. And that controller, all the time. The thing is, one time I was trying to communicate with a net down in North Carolina. And boy, I tell you, everybody was low power. Or 100 watts or so, and lousy conditions, and I could not tell. First off, I was listening on an SDR because I could not copy them directly. I was listening on an SDR, and that SDR latency was probably about 5 seconds or 4 seconds off of reality, and I could not get in, because I was only running like 100 watts at the time. So I said, well, as a net controller, I think it's very important that you be able to control the net, Roger.
I think it's very important that you be able to control the net, Roger.
Oh, Roger, without a doubt. Yeah, you must be hurt. That's really, real important. And I have friends who do nets, and they have a couple of antennas. So what they'll do is they'll switch among 3 antennas. They'll often have a Yagi, and they'll say, I'm pointing it, and then they'll give where they're pointing it to, so that they let folks who are in the southwest of the country, or maybe in Europe, that kind of thing. They have a vertical with a lot of radials, and then they also have a couple of guys have delta loops. So what they'll do is they'll periodically switch antennas to try to get the best signal-to-noise ratio on the station they're working. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, we're running 5 internet SDR receivers, and we're copying SDR out of New York, 1 out of Pennsylvania, 1 out of Virginia, 1 out of Georgia, and then we have one called a Hocus Pocus internet SDR receiver, which is pre-programmed with 50 additional SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States. Roger?
States across the eastern half of the United States. Roger?
Oh, Roger, that's fantastic. I never even, I just made a note, too, of that Hocus Pocus SDR. I think that's terrific. There's one in Pennsylvania I listen to very often. Oh, gosh, what's the call sign? K3FEF, I believe. Kilo 3 Fox Echo Fox. And it's in Milford, Pennsylvania, which is not terribly far from the New York State border. And I listen to that SDR frequently just to see how the conditions are. And there's also one in Salt Lake City I would listen to. So I'd not only check, of course, the solar flux index, K-index, all that stuff, but I listen to SDRs to see if I can hear WWV and how their hand bands are working and to see if I can copy stations. But you know what I do sometimes, Jim? I'll get on the air, call CQ and work guys, even if conditions don't dictate that it's going to be terribly good. I figured, you know what, let me turn this thing on and see what I can do. And the one in Pennsylvania, is that K3FEF you're using? Over?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't talk about it a lot because, suddenly I can't get in. Everybody's using it, Roger.
Suddenly I can't get in. Everybody's using it, Roger.
Oh, Roger, I totally understand. I got to give these guys a lot of credit for doing that stuff. I think it's a terrific service, and also the Whisper guys, too, and the women, the folks that run Whisper stations. I think that's all terrific, so you can really see what's going on with propagation. And the reverse beacon network, DX1, all of it. I think it's just terrific stuff. And what did we do years ago? You would put on the radio, you would listen for WWV, you get the solar flux, was it 18 minutes after the hour, I don't remember, and then it would give you the K-index, and you would kind of hope for the best. Over.
Oh, Roger. Well, they've got a thing now, I guess it's on the SDR. I think it is. The master list of SDR locations shows a daylight dark progression over the globe, and you can pick and choose your SDR locations from that, and it will tell you, I think, also the intensity of the signals on those frequencies. Anyway, Kevin, good to talk at you, sir. I'm running out of time here. If you would like to hear your beautiful audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in the series of 3400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
3400, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, Jim. Terrific job running this net, and I think you're doing an excellent service. Really, really excellent. And I got to give the credit to the gentleman that fixed this radio, Tim at Midwest. Tim at Midwest did a fabulous job fixing this, and I'll send you an email giving you the details, but some of the caps kind of blew up in the rig, and that was out of production, and he did a fabulous job of not only fixing it, but aligning it. So he said it's just exactly perfect now. It's a pleasure, absolutely, Jim. Have a terrific weekend. Thanks so much for your time, and great QSO. And I will certainly look up the YouTube video as well. Looking forward to that. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor from November 2 Tango Oscar. Thanks again, Jim. 7-3.
Roger, Kevin 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. So, with all that being said, we got to get out of here. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, clear.